A coward dies 1,000 deaths. A soldier dies but once.
Welcome one and all. This is Blaezer RTW. I hope you are good. I've got a couple of hours before the missus gets home, so instead of doing housework, I went to have a little blip on RTW, but there was only about 6 people on, and they're all in the game, so I thought, all right, yeah, let's do this. No doubt I'll get loads of boxes come up in the bottom right telling me people are on, or phone calls, which is always another favourite. But yeah, so you join me for a CWB 4v4 on, I think it's the Highlands map, Scottish Highlands. It looks like it's raining as well. So yeah, and you can probably see that it's also a little bit of an epic up there in the top right. Obviously there'll be a bit forwarding through, but it's a pretty entertaining battle. So run that bath or whatever you're going to do. Go and make your cup of tea. I've made my cup of tea. It should be cool enough to drink as soon as I've run through the armies, which I'll do now quickly. So let's have a go through the enemy first. So on their right flank is IOW Esrax. Obviously a good player. He's gone Numidia, 6 archers, 2 slingers, 6 long shield cav, 2 Numidian camel riders, and then 4 Numidian legionnaires. So that's pretty decent. On their inside right is Leprechaun. Yep, we're after his lucky charms. He's got 6 Balearic slingers, 2 slingers, 3 Scutari, a town militia, a couple of round shield cav, and then 6 long shield cav. And his general's in with his long shield cav. Where was Esrax's general? That's also in with the long shield cav as well. On their inside left, we have IOW Sparky, who is now Titan Sparky. So he's a good player. He's gone 3 Headhunter Madian Scythia, Scythian nobles as his general, some horse archers, and then at the back he's got 6 chosen archers, 2 archers, 3 peasants, which looks like he's going to rout off, so it doesn't look like he thinks too much of our team. And then on their left is IOW Spider, so another good player. He's gone Germania. He's got 3 skirmishers. I think that's 5 chosen archers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Gothic cav. 6 Gothic cav, and then 2 barbarian cavalry. Yeah, that looks like it. So let's go and have a look at the motley crew then, what's going on. So on our right flank is Sealmark. He's the Julii. He's got 3 Praetorian cav. Looks to be 5 Archer Auxilia, and then 2, 4, 6 Urbans. And then on our inside right is Manza Lewis. He was in, I'm trying to remember which one he was in. I've got a feeling it might have been the 4v4 CWB where there was 2 Carthages, and I've got a feeling he was the Scipio. A pretty good player from what I remember then. So he's gone the Greeks. He's got 2 hoplites, 6 armoured hoplites, 4 Spartans, 2 Cretans, and I'm guessing 6 normal archers, no cav that I can see. And then on our inside left is Macedon. This is Tia or Tyre, not sure. He's got 4 royal pikes, 6 companion cavalry. His general's in with his cavalry. And then 2 archers and 6 Cretans. Well, I'll give you one guess which faction I am. Yeah, you've guessed it, Carthage. I've gone 2 slingers, 6 Balearic slingers, 4 sacred bands. They're gold, and then 3 sacred band cav and 2 round shield cav. So yeah, you can see we're erring towards infantry, whereas they're erring towards skirmish. You know, effectively, all of our skirmishers are just literally there to soak up arrows. If they happen to kill any of them, then happy days. So you know, that's pretty much what they're for. I think we decided before, as soon as it started, that we were going to come across right the way up to where the Greeks were, up behind the Greeks and the Julii, somewhere up here, and sort of set up a little defensive sort of not new box, but you know what I mean, just to line up that side of the map. So yeah, let's get playing. Okay, so you'll see that any second now I'm going to start legging it off to the right, which right on cue, there I go. I can only think that English is not Tia's first language. You can see he's run off forward there. But you know, we would have definitely said get the F up to the Julii ASAP, because I'll be running over, which I am doing. He's pushed forward a little bit though, so I suppose the way we all look at this is that if old Scythia, Sparky has just routed off all, half his army effectively, we're gonna give him a whole army's head start. Or it looks like he's going to anyway, because I'm not going to help him. So yeah, he's probably looking at me going, mate, what the hell are you doing? You're stitching me right up. And he's obviously gone to the point of almost no return, if you see what I mean. At the other side, let me just pause that for a second. Or as far as the other sides go, you can see Greece is moving up to the Julii. Germania's actually come right round the back, if you see what I mean. Our line was across here towards where I am. So he's come right round to our sort of right flank, heavy his left. The archers are on the go. Scythia's got some headhunters up there, and obviously Germania's got his skirmish troops up there. So all this lot are they're already up the hill, so they're just going to defend their position. Let's get it going. So yeah. Esrax is sort of, he hasn't followed me aggressively, if you see what I mean. He's willing to play the long game. That's he'll look to sap us down. I'm running some of my troops, but not all of them. You can see. They've made short work of most of the Macedonian cav. Sent some off that way. And just check and try to keep it so I can see what's going on in the back. I don't think there's any engagements from what I can see at the back left. Looks like the headhunting maidens up here in the centre got their man in the Macedon general. He's facing up his pikes, but he's going to turn his back on either skirmishers, horses, or whoever else they've got in the vicinity. You can see Esrax, he's itching to get involved. He's moving up his cav, just ready to strike. I'm not sure he's going to want to strike the pikes there while they're looking, so we'll see what happens there. Let's just go and have a quick look at what's going on at this end. So my cav, two of my round shields are up there. Obviously they're the quickest ones. I think what sort of happens here effectively is that Spain comes and tries to have a dig at my general, and I sort of get one or two of his. Let's see if I can keep it a bit like that. So you can see they're just picking off these pikes. Obviously the archers went a long time ago, as soon as the cav went, or probably before. Yeah, look at all this lot. These are all firing into the pikes. They're not going to last too long, because as soon as they turn their back, they're going to get fired on. So yeah, you can see all that lot there's gone, which was the more pikemen. So they've cleaned him up. You can see they've come in for a dig at my general, Spain has. I'm chasing them off with my cav and pulling my general back. Really, I should really be sort of, as soon as they turn back, I should have started going back up the other way. And then if they started following me, turn around, you know what I mean? What's this? So this is the horse archers up here, so they're probably shooting up my cav. So it looks like I'm going to send my cav after them. Let's go and have a look what's going on over here. So you can see Greece has formed up. Rome is moving his archers up. He's going to try and target the cav, maybe the city in general. Macedon's virtually out of the game. What's he got left? 2 pikes. Yeah. Yeah, here come my cav going after them. With 3 sacred bands are there. They're chasing off these long shield cav from Spain. He's going to come in for a dig at my general. I'm going to see him come in. Yeah, taking a handful out maybe, so that's not too bad. They're going to get this cav here though, which is a bit bad. But if I can get my general out of there, then I'll be happy. I do need to get him out of there as well because look how much cav there is in and around him. These 2 will soon come to the rescue if they need to though. You can see my round shields are going off, chasing after the horse archers. They should be in loose formation really because they'll be getting shot at, I think. Right, so you can see he's coming in for another dig at my general. I've turned just in time, dropped my spears down, and routed both those little units, so that's not too bad. My Balearics are unprotected. I obviously clicked my army up and I've been concentrating down here. I'm surprised he didn't go for them then, but maybe he would have got taken, you know, all these guys would have taken him out. Bit of skirmishing going on over here, is there? Yeah, so their formation is getting dragged out about, but they're not actually getting dragged enough to isolate themselves. And we have got enough skirmishers to cause them some issues. You know, if all our skirmishers for each team was targeting a 1 cav, it'd soon drop. You can see that the Julii has sent his cav out to fight fire with fire. He's gone after some headhunting maidens. He's feeling a bit endeavoured by that, so he's going straight after him again, all 6 of them. He does want to watch out for that though, because you can see Esrax is caught up. He's bringing in his cav, the maidens have turned round, the camel riders are there, and all the Germania cavs just down. He's pulled his Praetorians back though, but not quite enough, and he didn't move his urbans up. He should have moved his urbans up and just let them all sit now, but they might be peeling. No, they're not. He's saving it for something or other. You see Greece has got a nice U formation on the go. That end, the city in general still at that back end. Numidia's getting his nice line on the go. Germania's got most of his cav sort of here in the middle. Looks like the action is going on in the centre here. He's finally pushed his urbans up, but there's not a lot there for him to save. The cav's going to pull away before they get peeled. So that's a pretty good strike by them, taking out the Julii's cav. Greece never had any cav. Macedon's cav's gone, so the only cav we've got left is the bit that I've got here, and my round shields that are chasing off some cav way off in the distance. So you can see they've drawn their lines up a little bit. Spider looks like he's going to hit our right flank as it is now. Numidia's got his cav over here. Spain's forming up. Okay. Yep. You can see I brought my cav back, taking out some of his archers and that while he's not here. And I think because everything's over here and suddenly everything just turns back. Yeah, there you go. His cav's already on the way back. Everything's turning around the other way. And I could just imagine him going, "You cheeky bastard." So yeah, good game, good play by me there. And that's quite nice. So I've taken out a couple of his archers and probably sketched out another lot, although my lot's going to be getting shot up and they're going to be knackered. So was it a good trade-off? It might have been. It stopped them pooling all their cav over here anyway. So if they were thinking of any attack on, say, the Julii or anything, ain't going to happen now. And it gives us a bit of time to form up our lines as the Julii is doing. Okay, let's go and have a look how my cav's getting on. So I'm going after some more the slingers now. You can see some of his archers come back really. Don't know if I'm going to rout any of these because they're so far spaced out. It might have been better actually killing off those archers and chasing them off, or sending both of them after one of these units. But their cav's caught up with me now. I should have really sort of got a bit greedy there. I should have perhaps 20 seconds ago, 15 seconds ago. I did rout one of them off though. Oh, that was that unit that we were on about, wasn't it? I should have maybe brought them back and sat them in behind there and just rested them up and then looked for another opportune time to strike with them. But it's being a nuisance to him. It's keeping all his troops at that end, not taking us out. So that's fair. That's fair enough. Yeah, Greece has still got his strong formation on the right. No doubt he'll be getting shot up, but he's got a lot of spears there. The Germanian Cavs come in for the archers. And obviously what they'll have to do is take our skirmishers out first, but if they can knock us out with the cav on little strikes like that, then it means that there'll be more arrows left for our infantry at the end. Okay. Right, so you can see I'm sort of his long shield cav's knackered. Mine's absolutely knackered as well. I'm coming back. It looks like I'm going to try and get a little raid at these lot. He's going to try and cut me off with that cav there though, so I might get away with it, I might not. Looks like something sort of happened down there. I've moved some slingers up behind Rome now. Still just a bit of posturing down that end. I think they're looking for an entry point. Yeah, you can see I double backed in between them when I guess I was going to sort of come downhill and try and maybe hit some of these archers here. I would have got shot up, and I obviously did before I got there. So yeah, but it's knackered those out a little bit. So fair, good game. Esrax is moving his camel riders around. Germania's brought some cavalry around the back, along with the. I was pretty surprised none of us have targeted the Scythian generals because he's been sat there for a long time. Looks like Greece has started. We're starting to reform our lines up a little bit now because we're quite. It is good to be stretched out, you know what I mean, so they can't flank us. But yeah, we want to make sure that we can back each other up so that if there's a, if they suddenly all moved all their cav down to this end here, it's completely surrounded, say, Rome from both sides and started smashing it, it would have been a while before we could have actually got over like we are now. So Greece is doing quite good there. It wouldn't surprise me if I moved my stuff up now, but I need to be a little bit careful because obviously if I turn my back, I'm going to get shot up again. Here comes here comes that cav again. He doesn't know when he's beaten. Is he actually going to do any damage this time? Looks like he's going for these archers. They got 38. No, they didn't. So yeah, unlucky again, mate. He's had a good pop, but he's off now. Looks like the Scythian general come in for a little strike over here on some of the Julii archers, but got shot up. So he's probably regretting that. He's probably starting to question his choices with regard to letting his archers go as well. But so we sort of half evened that up for him. Right, okay. Scutari's coming around the side. That will no doubt try and throw into the side of the spears. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they've not a bit more aggressively pushed into where like the Germania cav is. They could have probably got a whole load of archers around here to the, they could have probably enveloped us because we've got no way of sort of chasing them down or forming a big enough block, if you know what I mean. Looks like Spain's starting to do that now, just with his infantry though. Greece is moving up a couple of units to face them up to make sure they don't get any cheap shots. Looks like I've angled off one of my guys and starting my retreat. Possibly might have been better off moving these skirmishers first, leaving the spears in behind, so that if they do what they're about to do now, which is attack me, then they don't get anything. They're going for my cav, but I've actually just got away with it, and because they're coming in behind my pikes, like it should have been done in the first place, they're not going to want to tussle with them. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for my slingers. I should have obviously moved them first, got them halfway there, and then moved my spears back, and then I could have easily turned them against the cav. but you know, we know that one for next time. So they've pretty much wiped out all my slingers. What have I got? 1, 2 units of Balearic slingers that are pretty full, so that's not too bad. So you know, it's not ideal, but it could have been worse. Right, so the lines have changed, the sands have moved. Germania's still out on our right. He's sending in some Gothic cav. They're going to try and take out these Arch Auxiliar that just popped inside the Spartans. Spain has got all his skirmishers opposite our centre, along with his militia. Looks like they're coming in for a few strikes on me here. These are spearmen though. They were obviously going after these slingers, which are running away. But I'm actually able to run my spears over now. Yeah, Spain's gone all in on that a little bit. He's moved his Scutari in, but the Greeks have actually come over to give me a hand. I think there's a couple of Urbans coming over. They're backing me up, so I'm not really getting surrounded. And now the Spanish are going. Right, let's just let me just get a quick recheck of where we are. So we did go through all that backside. There's not a lot there. Is that Germania Cav looks like it's making its way over here now. The Legionaries are moving their way up. So I would read into that wasn't a particularly coordinated attack. I think that's along the lines of Spain went for my Balearic slingers because they were probably dragging out the side. One of his units got caught. He was probably had maybe 1 or 2 units behind it. He decided to come back in the back of it. I've thrown a couple of units over, and then suddenly anything that's near has got thrown in because it looks like like the spark has gone off here. But you know, really, if they were going to do that, the Legionnaires should have been blocking off at least some of the Urbans and my spears here, just so I couldn't throw them in. Because at the end of the day, they're just throwing cav into an infantry fight, and more specifically a spear fight, apart from a couple of Urbans. So it'll be interesting to see if they follow through on it or they don't. You can see some of Numidia starting to go. The Scythian general's gone. I mean, the actual general's dead himself. You see Greece is moving his stuff up. Julian needs to be careful of his general up there on the right. The Gothic cav is coming around the back, and it's coming around from our right as well. Esrax has pulled out. Yeah, we're all just a little blob of spears there. So I think it looks like, is he going to throw those Legionnaires in? I mean, I think the time has been missed. That's what I would look into that as, because that's not going to beat all that infantry. That line of legionaries. Yeah, so you can see I sort of went for a last little dig at the Numidian general. I didn't quite get him because he was backed up. Okay, so I can see a vague shape starting to form in the middle between the Greeks. Right. Sorry, you probably didn't hear that, but someone just walked in the door unannounced. So I've completely forgotten where I am now, because that was about 5 minutes ago. So yeah, so you can see we're starting to form up a little box here, it looks like. They got a little bit of cav. I think should be able to get this going. Yeah, they've got another couple of decisions to make now, because the longer they leave their attack, the tighter our box is going to get, basically. We've got a vague defensive. That's going to be hard enough for them to break down now as it is. I think they've probably erred on that side and sort of thought, right, let's rest everything up, let's bring in all the archers. You can see all the slingers and everyone moving in, and then they'll surround, I would have thought they'll surround us, and then they'll start archering and slinging us. The ones on this side by the Gothic cav will be aiming for the Greeks facing the other way. They'll put some cav around everywhere to threaten us. My, how they could do with 6 chosen archer warbands, 2 archers. But alas, it wasn't to be. So yeah, you can see they're rounding up all the the routers that they can. Everything's moving in nice and slowly. A few bits of theirs are winded. Yeah, well, I don't think they've got any choice now. I mean, as we look at it now, I mean, it's difficult because they all start running their cav to where we are, and because there's no pikes in this end. Then we would have plugged that hole effectively. But then I suppose that would open up a gap somewhere else if you kept it correct. Yeah. Basically, they need to somehow engage probably the most valuable kills, which is probably going to be the Spartan generals and the Spartans on that side somehow with the legionaries, and then they need to open the door somewhere else, which is probably going to be the Julii general. And if they can sort of engage them, take out the Julii general, smash all their cav in, and then hit the Greeks and rout them off, that's probably their only option. I don't know how many how much ammo they've got left, how many arrows they've got left, how many stones, to see if it's going to make a difference to that amount of infantry. I guess we will find out though. Let's put it on triple for a bit and just see where we go. I'm going to drink a bit of my cup of tea. Thirsty after all that talking. Right. Yeah, because you can see we're starting to shore up our corners now, which is quite good because we're quite sort of thin in places, if you see what I mean. We're slowly starting to edge them up, and then what will happen is the Julii general will come back and then line up somewhere like in that corner while that Spartan rearranges himself to a bit more of an angle. Then the Spartan general will straighten up, and then those two will be brought in, and then we'll just eventually all bring it in all tight. All I'm doing, I haven't got a lot left. My infantry took a real dig with that raid, but to be fair to it, it held up pretty well. There was a real key point right at the beginning when I think the Spanish engaged me, and then there was one more cav charge from someone else before I managed to get any spears across or any backup came. I think if those two would have routed then, that could have been a different story, because obviously they would have been bothered by that little clump then, if you know what I mean. They could have pulled out and effectively done the same thing again somewhere else. So these little margins do make a difference. Okay, yeah, so as I was saying, my infantry's in loose formation, and I think all I spent my time doing here was literally sort of finding out which, going behind, say, these guys, for example, just trying to find out which, who they were shooting at, if they were shooting at anyone, if you see what I mean, and then facing them if they were shooting at me. Everyone's been brought in now. What's this? The town militia, so they'll come up in a minute, I guess. Chosen Archer Warband. Yeah, you can hear my guys are getting attacked. Is this going to be the moment? So what's that? Little Julii Archer's gone out just for, I don't know why, but why not? Yeah, thing is with the Spartans as well is that they've got 2 hit points. So you can see they sort of brought some cav over here, but the Greek is now formed up, so I don't think there's any point as it is at the second that's not protected by pikes. Then you've got to remember, as soon as any attack comes in, if they look like they're going to get through, like say this bottom bit where the Julii general is and this infantry right at the bottom, if they're all doing this and I suddenly see them start moving in, my guys are going in tight formation and all running this way, and then putting their spears down as soon as they come. I should be able to remember that because I've only got 3 units in the middle, so I shouldn't be too worried about that. But yeah, the Spartans are going to be an impenetrable wall for them. The hoplites are probably going to be an impenetrable wall for them, unless they've got ones which have got low units. But as I stated at the beginning, the longer they leave it now, the tighter our box gets. You can see our box is getting tight, the noose is getting tighter, they're slowly coming in. So yeah, I've actually moved one of my guys in to plug that gap now, but I think he's moved across, so I need to move him to this little bit where the cursor is. There's a bit of a corner there that might be weak. Speak of the devil. Looks like I'll be out of a game after this then, which is still quite long after I completely forgot at the time. I think I'll leave it like this and just leave it tripling, because what will happen is that I'll pause it, forward it, something will happen, and I'll get halfway through the thing before I press play. And then I'll have to reload the thing up, forward it through to this point, and do that again. So I'm keeping that dead on play, ready for when they come in. But we'll leave it like this for now. You can see I don't want to move the mouse, so you can see them just posturing. What I'll do, just so we can explain the situation of where everything is, we'll just have a quick look around and see what's what. So, right, so from our angle, so near enough we're on top of the remnants of the Scythian nobles, some Scutari. Is that Scythia there as well? Yeah, he's got a couple of that side as well. Spanish cav there, Germanian cavs all over there. Camel riders are there. So this is very cav heavy. The legionnaires are coming up. I don't know if they've already thrown their Pila in or they're about to throw it in. Just interested, keeping an eye on the Spartan general's numbers, because no doubt he'll be #1 target. The archers have run out of arrows. I'm just trying to see who's run out of arrows. So they're probably waiting, because obviously they've got less numbers, they've got more stones effectively, so they'll go on and gain those Balearic slingers, because there's not many of them firing stones they've got. Yeah, so here's the infantry here, this row right in front of the Spartan general. Behind him is some slingers, cav all the way around the bottom to the left. The archers and the chosen archers, which are used as sort of light infantry, are at the top as we look at it, along with the immediate general. And then there's the Spanish remnants on the right, along with the legionaries, which are split up. But you can actually see that our box is formed up really nicely. I'm just trying to find a weak point. Yeah, look how tight bringing it now. Yeah, tough one. My guys are right on that corner, tidying that one up. Spartans 4 deep there. Spartans 4 deep there. This guy will get brought back in, but then that's Spartans 4 deep there. That's a bit of a sharper angle than the rest of them, but there's some hoplites and some urbans in there as well who are tightening up. Yeah, well, good luck, fellas, is what I say to that. Good luck. Right. It looks like the grand finish is going to come up any time now. So there's the cards are on the deck. Let's see if they can figure out a way of undoing the lock. Or not. The box is just, from what it started, it was it's turning into quite a nice little defensive formation there. Here they come. Yeah, I'm surprised it's all not a little bit closer, but I suppose the more sort of run up you get, the more charge they get. Yeah, I don't know, maybe this corner where the Julii general is now, looking at it, coming in from where the chosen archers are. The Spartans are going to be doing a job to get in through them. Yeah, I think this left side would definitely be the one to go for. It looks like they're just going to throw everything in there. I mean, there's not really a lot else they can do.
This general is the perfect enemy. He does not stand but runs away. Is there any point in...
Yeah, into our impenetrable wall. Come on then, Germania, let's see what you got. Brutal. And yeah, I mean, will Spain do the decent thing and just charge his general in? Is his general actually in there? Yeah. But yeah, our box was pretty solid really. They have got into it and they have mashed up the formation, so they did have just enough, but Spartans are like 30 and 26 and stuff, so yeah, especially when the cab general gets it in the face. Looks like, is the Spanish general going to come in and meet his maker?
These men are perfect. They are running from the battle in terror.
Yeah, so I think it's just these chosen archers, which probably routed off a minute ago, and then have come back before the general was killed, and then some archers there which are still firing. And then, yeah, I sent my spears out to that lot of Spanish cav that was just outside. I'm going to send them after him again. Here comes the remnants of the Germania on the left. Is the general going to get his? Ah, no, he's routed off. I know, yeah. Oh, how did I bloody... Oh, that was my general nailed him as well, wasn't it? What a bugger. Oh well. Oh no, I think it was one of them, whatever the hell they are. No, it wasn't. Oh well. Never mind. Yeah, they're throwing everything in now. The town militia's coming in, the chosen archers coming in. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so definitely a bit of an epic. Hope you enjoyed it, enjoyed playing it, enjoyed watching it back now. You know, one of them few little bits that could have made it go either way or another way. Matey Boys Archers would have made a difference. Would they have made enough of a difference? You know, wouldn't it like have been a full, 8 full archers on us at the end, because they would have obviously been using their arrows to begin with against our skirmishers. So you never know. Everyone done really well. That was a really competitive game. I think Tia obviously didn't understand what we were saying about coming up to the hill, and to be fair, yeah, I sort of left him there, so sorry about that. I'm sure I play a few with him and he gets his own back, so we'll keep an eye out for that. We'll look out for that one. And yeah, good game to everyone. Nice averaging out of all the kills. Leprechaun done well, so yeah, good game all. Right, see you later.
Follow me, Blaezer.